Hello, we are Chronicles of Tyria. I totally lost my intro. I'm out of my brain. Doesn't matter. Anyway, we're going to be talking about news, or lack thereof, depending on how you want to look at it. And yeah, that's the best I got, so stay tuned. Oh, that was me from the previous episode. Anyway, hello everyone and welcome to the Chronicles of Tyria podcast, a Guild Wars 2 podcast for fans by fans. My name is Lagwin. This is episode 112, I believe. Yes.
Yep.
And I'm here with the lovely Son, who's already started drawing because we don't know how long this episode's going to be, and if she doesn't finish, well, then you'll just have to wait. So, anyway, I don't see this being a particularly long episode, but we'll see what happens. We got some fan mail we're going to take care of, we got some other news and things we're going to talk about, and then we're going to talk about how there's some not news. So, yeah, internet.
Hi!
Hi, how are you?
Good. Welcome to everyone who's actually in chat.
Oh man, we got people watching. This is crazy.
We have people watching!
I know, look at all the different people. Look at all the different colors of the Twitch names. That's always the most exciting. That's when you know you got a lot of people, when they get all the different weird... Then you get the the obnoxiously annoying bright green that nobody can read. Yeah, good times. Anyway.
You just tempted me to...
No, stick with your nice green. Alright, so let's start off with some mailbag. If you like this mailbag image... Oh, that green! Why would you do that?
Oh, you just set it up for it. You really did.
That's actually, you know what, for some reason it's not so bad on yours. Sometimes it just gets, like, depending on the name, if it's like a really short name, it gets like the worst. Anyway.
It's because I got the underscore.
Maybe. That must be, it breaks it up, yeah. Anyway, if you like this mailbag image, you should talk to Vasburg at vasburg.com. That's VASBURG. He's the artist who put together most of that stuff for us. Any of these special splash art images that you see for our transitions. So check that out. So anyway, mailbag, lots of stuff. I'll start off with good old Tori G, the Wall Master. Warning, possible wall of text incoming. That is, if I have time to compose it, I've been really busy lately. Keep up the good work. Followed by, okay, so the wall got way out of control. I looked down and the word count was over 4,000. I'm not going to do that to you guys. I feel a lot of good quality of life changes were shoved aside by a giant negative hype train of veteran players shouting about how the first couple of hours of the gameplay has changed. Do I think it's good? No, but I'm not willing to lose my shirt over it. On ArenaNet's promises, didn't they say they wanted Guild Wars 2 to be the kind of game players could take breaks from and not feel left out? Wasn't too much too fast a complaint from this time last year? I just find it amusing. Long and short, you shouldn't feel bad if you don't want to log in every day. It's how the game is designed. What gets to me is when people confuse lack of things they want to do with lack of things to do. I find I'm with ArenaNet in my views of many other players. They are like goldfish in terms of memory and attention span, but I'm a pessimist, or is it a realist? Anyway, cheers. Thank you, Tori G. Actually, I would have liked to have seen what you had to say in 4,000 characters, although that would have probably been this episode.
Yeah, we were talking about that. We were like, this week would be this essay brought to you by Tori G, and next week would be actually
next week we'll do a podcast. Oh my god, a Jolinar.
Holy.
Yeah, right. So did you have any comments on Tori's his little wall there?
He does have a huge point. No one's really talked about the really nice quality of life changes that they did do. Basically all the quality of life changes that they put in, I like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're all really good. The biggest thing is just the level gating in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it's not doing what they said that they wanted it to do. And the fact that every character is subject to that. It's not like it's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he has a very strong point. You shouldn't feel guilty about not wanting to go on every day or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
no, that's true. It's the way the game's designed, but
yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to go into that because we talked a lot about it last week.
Yeah.
So.
And he actually has a point of confusing lack of things they want to do with lack of things to do, because I was along the feeling of like, there's nothing to do and blah blah blah, and then it's all like, I've been playing so much the last couple of days because I keep having friends call me in to do stuff. We just end up wandering around doing essentially nothing, really. I think I was doing some exploring on a character I honestly don't care that much about, but she's the only one in that level range. Earlier I was trying to gather some of the treasures for Treasure Hunter collections, which ended up being like 2 hours in the wrong map.
Nice.
We were trying to do it without cheating.
Okay.
It didn't matter because I had fun, and we were still doing world exploration on characters that didn't have it yet. So it's like, we're doing all this stuff. Like, 2 hours went by in a blink.
Right.
So there's still things to do. It's just nothing really structured. It just sort of happens.
Okay.
Grab a friend, go in, do something random.
Fair enough. Club says they're also planning on. This was in reference to that one off comment I made about jumping puzzles being added to World of Warcraft, and how a lot of people, we were talking about how other people are copying Guild Wars 2, and Guild Wars 2 is copying everybody else in a way.
No, yeah.
So he says they are also planning on adding jumping puzzles to Final Fantasy XIV and have the Fate system, which is more or less the same thing as dynamic events. But you also have to remember that when Final Fantasy XIV came out originally, it crashed so hard that Japan almost sunk into the ocean. They luckily had the resources to have a new team and start from scratch. Now the game is huge and actually incredibly fun. I'm actually just getting back into it. It's gorgeous. Hopefully ArenaNet can stop themselves from following in Final Fantasy XIV's original footsteps, because I doubt they have the same kind of resources as Square Enix. Fair enough. Yeah, it did tank pretty bad in the beginning. I remember that was going to be another one of the name X different MMO was going to crash because of Final Fantasy XIV. Because I know people that are still playing Final Fantasy, was it 11? Or were? Anyway, that was the MMO.
Yeah, I think.
People love their chocobos, man. That's all they want. Ride around on chocobos. Have a good time. Lagging Ladies, number 22. We got some comments on.
Yeah, I can read them. Or do you want me to keep drawing?
No, you do it. Go, do it up.
Okay.
And you could explain what this is about in case people missed
Yeah.
that.
In case you haven't actually seen Legged and Ladies 22, due to the changes in the personal story and like the complete lack of access to it, essentially, in Guild Wars 2, we have decided to pull the plug on that series for now. We may bring the characters back in the future if they revert the level locking, or, I mean, like, it doesn't mean that we won't still do videos under that title, but they won't be serialized. They won't be regular updates or anything like that. So, Leg and the Ladies 22 is the final episode of Leg and the Ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And Alaska wrote, "Thank you for the entertainment that you provided, and the squeaks, all the squeaks."
So many squeaks.
So many squeaks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the squeaks were the worst in Leg and the Ladies.
Yeah, they were awful. I don't know where they just kept coming. Not awful. The awful is the wrong word, but you know what I meant. Like, they just incessant squeaking.
Yeah.
It's like the telltale heart, but with squeaks instead of a heartbeat. Anyway, yeah. Do you want to just take them all? They're pretty short, and I'll take over that one at the bottom.
And then Michael Ramirez said, "So the sad face." And Jexo said, "Wave, don't." And a fellow by the name of Brett Elliott just cries.
T.T. Yeah.
Yeah, T.T.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, guys, but that's just how it is when you lose one of the ladies and one of the 5 members of the show, and then ArenaNet follows up with locking out the personal story, and it just, I mean, we explained it in the video, so I won't really go into it. It's just, it was gonna be more work than it was supposed to be, which was just gonna be, we were gonna play everything out in front of you guys for you to all see, and then it would involve more homework, if you will, and it wouldn't be serialized, and it would just be, so it's better to just end it while on a good note. And like we said, it's not like we won't do Guild Wars 2 videos potentially in the future, holidays and things like that, and things that people suggested were great ideas, but some of them just don't fit into, you can't break them up, and not many people want to watch a 2-hour block. And I know that as someone who used to do consistent 2+ hour podcasts, not a lot of people. The retention on those videos, you might see 300 views on one of those videos, but if you go and look at the viewer retention after like a half an hour, half people are like, I'm out, I'm good. Can't take another hour and a half. So, thank you for all that supported it, and we'll see what happens in the future. And then long-haired bloke commented, another comment on my Mystic Forge video. Watched this video, and something about it was bugging me all night at work. So when I got home, I thought I would throw a few more things into the toilet and see what happens. At this point, I have 1,000 gold, and all I'm missing to create my legendary Frostfang is the precursor and 960 tier 6 materials. So, in I throw a Mystic Forge Stone with 3 rare axes, and I get a rare axe. I then throw in another stone with 3 of the cheapest yellows I can buy and get a rare back, thinking, oh, what the hell, I'm only down about 40 silver. At this point, I buy 3 exotic weapons and throw them in the forge with a stone and get an exotic back with a quarter of the value of what I threw in. So now I'm down about 6 gold at this point. My dinner was now cooked, but I thought, what the hell, one more go with just 4 rare axes, not expecting anything more than maybe an exotic worth a few gold. In they go, and out comes Tooth of the Frostfang. I'm so happy right now. Thank you for this video. You could say it inspired me. Well, I'm glad that I inspired you to get your legendary. So, long-haired bloke, congratulations. I hope you enjoy your Frostfang. So, onward to the next bit of news. So the comic. Let's talk that.
This is just a happy, joy episode.
Yeah. Do you want to talk on this?
Yeah, I should talk since I have withdrawn from no gathering tool equipped.
Yes.
I will no longer be drawing it. It will remain on hiatus until another artist steps up.
Right.
The reason for this is when I agreed to join the project, I was very upfront and I said, I can only do art. I cannot do story. I cannot handle the stress, the mental, whatever art mojo it takes to keep track of the plot, the consistencies in the plot, the consistencies in the art, figure out who needs to do what and all that jazz. That's why we had a writer. And what was happening was every week, or at least it seemed every week, I was chasing down a script. The plot was actually supposed to begin immediately after we released the last character in the party, which I believe was Daremod, was the last one that we released. So those gag strips, those non-plot related gag strips, I wrote those with the help of Leg.
Yeah.
At the last moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been struggling to keep up with it, and I can't do last minute ditch 7 hours in my chair scribbling at something I don't want to do anymore, but I have to get it out in time. To date, this would be the one comic right now, this resignation letter of mine, this was the only comic that you did not receive because of me. Every filler comic was not me. It was
I know.
me filling a void, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate. So, you can count the webcomic on hiatus for. Yeah. If a new artist steps up, then that's great. I'm not actively looking for anyone because, the writer is. We have a writer that was again kind of the reason why there are creative differences. So if they want to approach another artist to then pick up where this left off, and they can deal with it. But that's just how it is. So it's going to remain on hiatus. Whether that's indefinite or not relies on somebody else. So we'll see. I'll put that out there. So you can check. There's information in that post. It's unfortunate, but as someone who really enjoys art, you don't want to get. I don't want Son, and nobody else, I'm sure, wants Son to be burnt out running around trying to do these things at the last minute and just get frustrated and then not want to draw ever again. Because that's not what you want. That's awful.
I was actually in physical pain with the last one because I spent so long in my chair.
Yeah, so we don't want that.
7 hours is a long time to go without standing up, apparently.
Just a little bit, but that's fine. Anyway, so on to the news, or lack thereof. In case you guys missed it, the feature pack came out, which obviously you heard the Rant Fest last week. Other news on so after the feature pack came, they're having the World vs. World season is happening right now. Then after the World vs. World season ends, it's going to be the Tournament of Glory and the qualifiers and things like that for PvP. And then that'll slot us right around mid to end of October-ish. And then that's when Halloween's going to come out. The Halloween content.
October 21, I thought I saw in one of those posts.
Probably, yeah. So October 21. Well, that's what we're saying anyway, and that's probably what it is. October 21 is Halloween, and then was it the first week in November is the feature, or is the story resumes?
Yeah.
So it's going to have 2 weeks of Halloween, then the living story resumes, then December will be Winter's Day. So, sorry, we're going to hit you with some more news. Because of the lack of content in the game and ArenaNet's putting out recently, we won't really have much to talk about here on the show because we base this off of news. So the podcast is going to go on hiatus as well, barring any major updates. So if they release the Halloween preview content like a week before the content comes out, we're going to do a podcast and talk about it.
If
If
there's
they
enough
drop
to
some
actually talk about.
right, if they drop some huge major lore bomb or something like, here's the rest of our plan for the next 5 years, if they announce an expansion, whatever, anything like that, we will come on and do an episode about that, obviously, to cover that. But considering right now it's just the World versus World season and then some PvP tournament stuff, that doesn't really make a good show, and we don't have things to talk about, so it would kind of be nothing. So rather than try to make content happen and make it work and force it, we're just gonna wait till there's something to talk about. We're both
guy.
It's rough, I know, but we're both in agreement on this, that this is a better call. And it also, as you saw last week, gives us a chance to kind of distance ourselves from, that initial kind of lashing out that we had towards our feelings with the game, and can let us take a step back and breathe a little bit, see the big picture, and then hopefully get over some of that frustration.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll see. Well, okay, Guy, you want to talk about Destiny? Destiny's a great game. Yes.
But not on the Guild Wars 2 podcast.
No.
Come on, we're not thinking that low.
And if we wanted to talk about Destiny, we could bitch about the server times, things like that. But anyway. Yeah, Aster, I agree. Sorry, go ahead.
This was not meant to be a bitch fest.
No, it's not. You're right.
Yeah.
So, but we do have a couple other things for you that we do have.
We do?
You put some stuff in there. So I'm
did I?
You did.
Oh, yeah.
Fancy stuff. Okay. Let's grab this. We'll make it not the worst for everybody. Where is it? Boom. Look at that. Throw in some data mining time. Okay. So, here we are. We're data mining. We got a couple other little things. Trying to be fancy here. So we got the fancy char outfits were data mined, which if you look at that image, it's Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, the comments are like, that's probably why he picked those specific colors, too.
It's Beast, yeah. He is Beast from Beauty and the Beast. Tale is old as time. Song is old as rhyme. Beauty and the Beast. Right there. I just gotta get... I forgot, does the human female one, does it look like a big poofy dress that we can make yellow to go with it? No, it looks like Countess Anise. Never mind.
Yeah, this is the other half of the Countess Anise set.
And then the Asura one was also released. So, data mining. Yeah. That's all we got, unfortunately, for that. To the folks who asked about other games on the radar, Guild Wars 2 podcast, but I will give you guys just a quick update of what's on my list if you're really that interested. I saw Aster said Smash Brothers. Oh my god, Smash Brothers. So many hours will be lost. And days of work skipped. And other things. Not eating, not sleeping. Smash Brothers. Pokemon, Omega, Ruby, Alpha Sapphire.
Pokemon!
You guys can trade with me. I'll get you my friend code as soon as the game comes out. Or you can actually get my 3DS friend code if you want. I'll post up where it is. Alien
If you ever log on to your thing, I have your code.
I have logged on. Not in a while, but I'll do you want? After the podcast, I'll log on just for you.
Okay. Good.
Alien Isolation, I'm pretty excited about. Because it'll actually be maybe potentially the first good Alien game since Alien vs. Predator for the PCs in 1995. Dragon Age 3, obviously, gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get sucked into that one.
Destiny, also, again, very good. Has some issues with the server times, and for an MMO where you can't interact with other players and or trade, WTF Destiny. I want to give people, like, I either want a trading post or like, hey dude, I totally got this sniper rifle. That's awesome. Do you want? Well, you can't have it, so never mind. An MMO where you're in a town surrounded by other players and there's not even like you can't type, you can't talk.
That's creepy.
It's like ready? Look, this is the level of your social interaction. Here's my controller. Here it is. Hang on. This is the level of your social interaction, right? Right here, this is wave. Up is wave, left is dance, right is point, down is sit. That's your interaction. Those are your 4 emotes. That's all you got. If you're targeted over somebody, then it'll say your character dances with so and so or points at so and so. That's it. No text chat, no voice chat, no trading post, no trading. You can't even sell things. All you can do is break them down and dismantle them. They sort of have a public event system. Like, you can play online. They have raids. They just added raids on Tuesday, so 6-player content. You can do 3-player content, most of the stuff. The multiplayer, it's Bungie, so it's Halo and Borderlands basically mixed together. Well, why not give me the ability to at least, like, if you want to foster this MMO thing, why can't I trade with my friends? Like, hey,
Yeah.
I have this really good gun that I don't want because I have a better one. Let me give it to you. Oh wait, no. Yes, there's no matchmaking in the high tiers of the higher tier content, the level 26 content, which is ridiculously hard, and you have to have 5 other people that you know, otherwise you can't play it. Yes, Joel, you're absolutely right. It's like, it is a single player game mostly. The story is short. I already beat it very easily. The competitive multiplayer is great, and the ability to travel and explore with your friends is fun. But some of the content, it just doesn't work. MMO is a poor choice. It's more like Guild Wars 1 style than like full-blown MMO. But I sort of digress on that. I think the only other things, I don't really think there's much else coming out that I want. The only other thing that's really occupying my time on my radar is Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. It's occupying a lot of my time. You can ask Song. I talk to her about it every day.
There's no escape. Except on the LRT, where I have no reception.
Yeah.
Well.
But yeah, that's pretty much I have a bunch of other stuff pre-ordered. I just don't know what's coming out this year. I just sort of wait for my phone call from GameStop that says, hey, this game's ready to be picked up. And I'm like, oh, sweet, I guess I'll go get that. But yeah, if you're on Xbox One,